Yes, peoples, welcome back to another episode of the Stockroom podcast. Where I'm joined by the green white. I'm joking.
Say it. The green white green. The green white green. We're in the building. Come on.
Joined by the guys, the M1 show,
sir.
and Bolu the bear.
That is I.
Hey man.
Our special guest.
Yes.
Because she had to, what do you call it? She had to actually amend what I was going to say. Paralegal.
Yeah. The paralegal.
The
content creator.
With her own Nike shoe. We're just gonna put it out there.
Yeah.
Right.
Someone who.
Do you have a Nike shoe?
Exactly.
I think I'm like one of very few, not to be. Very few.
Big up your things.
Very few black women who actually have. I think there's maybe a couple handfuls. So yeah.
We'll get into the shoe later. But how are you? How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm really good. Thank you. I'm so glad to be here. Obviously, I've known you guys for quite a while.
Are you okay?
She's so glad to be here. Sorry,
I'm so glad to be here. It's nice.
I know you've been here before.
It's nice to do stuff with people like you and just coming on a platform. I haven't done any. I was saying like I haven't done anything like this in a while, like in that sense. So I'm excited.
We're glad to bring you out of retirement.
Yes, I'm out of retirement.
Do you find it like daunting? Obviously, you have a social presence, but actually having like a speaking type of physical presence in a sense. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. I think yes and no, because I think in my job, in law, you have to be a really good communicator. Like that's a big part of the job. So I'm constantly doing it. But I think when it comes to social media, as you say, like you see a person and then I struggle to talk on camera. It just feels unnatural at times. But the more you do it, the better you get. And so there was a time where I was doing a lot of panels. I was doing a lot more speaking events. And then coming away from it does have that little, oh my gosh.
Because one thing, it's kind of funny you saying this, because obviously if I'm going to talk about the law, I'm thinking of suits. Let's burst that bubble now. But it's a whole thing of like, you're presenting cases and you're speaking to people trying to defend someone, but your anxiety is coming online and speaking about something that do you get what I mean?
But the thing is, I maybe I've copped out when it comes to law, but in the UK, so there's solicitors and barristers, and I went the solicitor route.
Right.
So we still go to court. Like I was at a hearing quite recently. I will sit in the background and you might communicate with the barrister, but we don't have to actually stand up and talk.
Right.
But we will meet clients in the office and we will do presentations and we'll do training sessions and you'll have to stand up in front of a room of your clients and be like, this is what's going on in the UK in terms of this legislation and you have to still present in that way.
But will you do small court? Potentially.
No, it's like I don't have to. I will go and just be behind the barrister.
Fair.
And so I think in that way it's not. I wouldn't say it's a cop out, but it's not as daunting or as heavy as like what barristers do. Because barristers, they're somewhat self-employed, and their job is to get cases from law firms like what I work for and go to court and speak.
Okay, cool. Because I'm not really too familiar. So barristers is basically like agency. If that makes sense.
Somewhat. Like, a barrister, yeah, because they're called chambers. I don't want to get... This is so boring.
Oh, no.
Interesting.
Wait.
A barristers will be part of something called a chambers. Okay. And so they will have the type of cases they defend, and a law firm might go to them and be like, hi, we've got this matter. We've done all the witness statements. We've done all the documents. We've put the bundle together that you need to go to court and present to the judge. And so we will hire them and they will basically, like as you said, kind of like an agency. Like we will hire them and then they will go and represent our client and we will maybe sit in the second row and be like, do I need to confer with I just want to confirm with my team, and we'll be the team they confer with, but we're also lawyers. So that's kind of how it works in the UK. And it's kind of, and as you said, like Suits is a kind of good example, because Harvey Specter was he was still part of the big city law firm and went to court, but Mike Ross also did as well, but I don't know, like Rachel Zane wouldn't, and some of the other lawyers, the associates, used to see them in like, you know, when they go to the associates room and they're all down there just like typing. They're probably just doing like contractual work and doing non-contentious work, whereas Harvey's like
doing the
and so a lot of lawyers, it's just that associates in the back room.
Fair enough.
But also talking to people.
Fair enough.
Okay, so go on.
What's the craziest case you've heard of
Is she even allowed to say that?
It might not be, as in, let's say even if it's like, let's say when you're studying like case that they've brought to you that you had to like, because my friend did also like, you have to like research cases.
Yeah,
like, what's the craziest one that you can talk about?
Craziest case. Oh my God. I don't know. I'll tell you a funny case that has recently like just been happening. So I do like IP and technology. It's kind of funny. But you might have seen it, to be fair. This one
IP, guys, intellectual property, by the way, just letting you guys know.
Intellectual property, sorry. But this one just popped in my head.
Don't come and jargonize us. It's just some
this one just popped in my head. So you know M&S had the Colin the Caterpillar?
Yes.
And Cuthbert the Caterpillar was like ALDI's thing. And so it actually, I think it went to like the High Court, and there was a battle of like, are you using my like, is this a copycat? Like, are you like imposing on my IP rights of this caterpillar? And so I think people don't realize like when brands are like, it was just really big in the IP world because it was like these two like big brands going at it over a caterpillar.
That's
like,
hilarious. In the grand scheme of things, that's so funny to look at.
And battling it and being like, I'm representing myself because of this. And so even, it was funny, the aftermath of it was funny because there was all these adverts and ALDI were literally poking fun at M&S in the adverts with a dressed up caterpillar in the back of their adverts and stuff. Poking fun at the fact that they've gone to this like legal battle to debate over Colin the Caterpillar.
These times, when they film the content, they film it like 6 months before. You can tell that they pay for extra studio time to be like, you know what, actually, let's get this one in there.
Let's add a little bit of
shade. So I think that was something that I can't, like, that off the top of my head, that was the first thing that came up was
that's
like,
jokes.
It's so stupid. Like, these are things people are going to court for.
Honestly.
But there's big money involved.
But there's big money.
There's
if
money
you
to be
impose
made.
on someone's IP rights and they claim for damages or whatever, it's big money involved.
Because they'll say the money you made is profit, we need that.
And then any other kind of lawyers that are charging $1,000 an hour.
1,000 an hour.
1,000 an hour.
That's some of them.
900 an hour.
I'm in the wrong industry. An hour.
There's more of them.
An hour.
And then there are more as well.
An
so
hour.
If normal lawyers are charging 1,000, imagine how much Nigerians lawyers are charging.
Lai Wasabi is a millionaire.
I'm gonna just give me 2K. 2K an hour.
Dollars.
It's a crazy
Before you get
world.
confused.
It's a crazy, crazy world, man.
So what's day to day like for you?
So for me, I think more so, I'm there to essentially support the solicitors, support the partners. So as I said, I'm in IP and technology. So it can be like copyright infringement matters we're working on, trademark infringement. It can be anything from like drafting articles. It can be proofreading. It can be pulling together reports. So like a day to day for me is like wake up, get to the office, or wake up, work from home, get on my laptop at 9, go through my emails. I might have someone who've asked me to do something. Like as I said, recently I went to a hearing, so I had to like go to the hearing, the court. So paralegaling, it's like you just have to be dynamic and adaptable, and you have to just, if a partner says, can you do this for me? You're like, I will learn. I'm going to learn how to do it because in the future you might need to do it again and again and again. So it really, there's no day is the same. And I think that for me has just taught me to be really good with my time, like and manage my time super well, especially with working 2 jobs. It kind of links into that thing of like managing 2 things. You have to be really good with just your time.
Talking about, well, to bring this back, but talking about obviously trademarks and IPs and stuff like that, there's been a couple recent stories in terms of sneakers. I don't know if you've I'm guessing you've been following some of them.
Yeah.
And that's one of my favorite things in sneakers. I've put up like sneaker niches. Like everyone has their sneaker niche. Some people's it's early looks and trying to be like, I've seen the shoe from like 3 years ago, or I have a research and I know a lot about older shoes. One of my things is sneaker niches. I mean, it's sneaker law.
Yeah.
In terms of like the whole Nike thing that's been going on, in terms of them suing a lot of people,
or New Balance, or Adidas, or like
it happens all the time, and for them, all of it is to just set precedent. To be like, don't do this. Just don't do this. And even if sometimes, you know, it's expensive and it's maybe more expensive than the value of the number of shoes they might have sold or someone else might have sold, it's all about just setting a precedent to be like, don't do this because we will come for you. And it also stops these smaller little brands from trying to, because, you know, you can create a shoe that's really similar, but the likelihood if you see that they're suing all the big dogs and you're a small dog, they'll go after you as well. They've been going after customizers
to a degree as well. Like what's his name? Cool Kai.
Yeah. They've been doing a lot of
things. They'll go after you as well.
You know who's funny in this scene of theft of intellectual property? Skechers. I realized, Skechers are like one of the biggest footwear brands in the world, right?
Yeah.
Especially in America.
And a lot of their silhouettes are just like stolen artifacts.
Yeah.
And then Nike will come every so often and sue them. I'm like, cool.
We won't.
And then 6 months later, got a new joint that looks exactly like another Nike shoe. I'm just like, don't you guys get bored?
And you can kind of keep doing that until, because if your margins, you're selling enough to be like, it was worth us doing that drop. People have bought it, and then, okay, we've had to remove it from stores. You can't recall every item someone's bought. So it might, for some people, some brands, it might be like, let's just push it as far as we can go because we're going to make, either way, we're going to make money.
And one thing I've noticed with people like, you've seen the whole mischief thing.
Yes.
With the whole, the devil and...
Yes.
I feel like a lot of the time, it's so dumb.
I
feel like
of course.
I feel like a lot of the time it's literally just for exposure. Yeah. In terms of like, a lot of these shoes, if we're taking, I can't remember the name of this guy that made dunks that with the skull that looked like...
Oh, I forgot his name.
I can't remember.
I know you're talking about though, yeah. I know you're talking about.
You have shoes on StockX which are Nike replicas or look like dunks going for 4K. Some people won't know, but if now you're a lawyer and you have an interest in, obviously but you're not necessarily a sneakerhead, and you see something like this, this is something you can relate to, and this is something that can push their brand to other people, because you might look at it and be like, okay, cool, they have other things which look similar. Oh, why don't I now start tapping into this, or why don't I start looking at this? So I find all of that interesting. I feel, especially recently they've had the whole Flyknit thing.
Yeah, so that basically Nike were like, we basically created Flyknit, and so I think they sued Skechers, Adidas, New Balance, all in the same fail swoop, and they cited like 2 or 3 silhouettes each brand.
2 or 3.
But I think
40.
I think I think New Balance had the most. New Balance had like 10. And it was like a few across each brand.
They just created a tech pack of everything that's been copied.
That's been
copied.
Yep.
And it's all to set this precedence of, we want to remain the soul that does this, or, and I think I see from a tactical standpoint, it's worth it. They invest money in it. They've created things, but it's also a lot of it is greed. And
of course.
They're all in competition with each other, and it's all, a lot of that is just, it's greed, and it's maybe not in a bad way, but you want to protect yourself. But
business-wise, isn't it?
Business-wise, it's a business, it's a tactical business.
Sometimes I look at it and it's like, if you let these guys get away with this, you give them an inch, they'll take a mile.
No,
so just block it off now and tell them what's good.
I think that's a lot of it. It is
100%, and it's like, I don't know if you guys saw with this whole IP issue, the Adidas and Tom Brown situation.
No, I haven't seen that.
So Adidas, obviously famous for their 3 stripes.
Of course.
And Tom Brown, they have 3-ish. They have 4 stripes, but obviously there's 3 thicker stripes in between the 4 stripes. And so Adidas was suing Tom Brown for like copyright infringement. But they lost the case because Tom Brown's lawyers were basically saying that your target market is not ours.
It's not.
You're for the general consumer. We're for the big dogs. Our price bracket, our price bracket, we can't be infringement if our customers will not go into.
It's the confusion.
Exactly.
Because with IP, it has to cause confusion.
Exactly.
And with Tom Brown, it's that one of the the thresholds that you have to measure is, would the average person go into Tom Brown and think this is Adidas? They're not. So the confusion, because they know the target market, they're never going to be confused. But where you have like a Colin or a Cuthbert, the same. The target market could go and be like, I brought a Colin the Cuthbert. Okay, it says Cuthbert on it, but it could be like, this is. It could be an M&S brand in another store, or it could be, that's when the Cocoa Pops, you have them in those copycats.
And it's like Cocoa Snaps and the Cocoa Pops and stuff.
It's all about will it lead to confusion for the consumer? Will they know that thinking they're buying Adidas and not
Yeah.
So that's it.
Well,
look at us IP heads.
Honestly, this is great.
I love this. I feel like
Speaking of shoes, Jade, what have you got on foot today?
Yeah, so I've got these are the Nike and Stussy the pennies shoes.
Yeah.
I've got these on today. These are probably one of my most comfortable shoes. Like I wear this all the time.
Are they high? No, they're not high tops.
They're like mids.
They're mids. They're kind of mid, but they're very comfortable. And I feel like for me, my life right now is I just want to be comfortable. I want to wear something that is not everyone might like, it might not be but I just want to be comfortable, and that's like my main thing now. So yeah, this is what I wore today, guys.
Nice. Bully, what you got on foot today?
On foot today, I have a little sign light. Everyone is focusing on the leather, but no one's really looking back at the new buck. I got my Bred 4s on. Nice. I'm here for, I entered for the leathers, by the way. But wait a minute. Wait. No, you didn't win. I entered. Product testing.
Michael.
Product testing. What kind of? That's an even worse excuse.
Okay, I need to know the context of why you guys.
So basically,
so why are you so happy?
Eman loves the shoe, right?
Okay.
And he said from the jump he's going to copy it.
Okay.
That's it.
So when the shoe dropped, when the concept of the shoe dropped,
it's not an excuse.
When the concept of the shoe, wait, guys, I'm explaining to Jade. One house.
Flip the mic, bro.
One house, people. So Jade,
look at you.
Cross your leg. So when the shoe got leaked, Eman said, "This is amazing. I need this." I said, "I am vehemently against the shoe."
Okay.
I'm glad you said that.
I have to be correct.
I'm glad you said that. I didn't want to say any flip flop.
Bolu said the same. He said the shoe stinks. The fact that changed it
does.
He said the fact that changed it from nubuck to leather, stinky. I agree.
I said it.
That was me. A few months down the line, I'm talking maybe like just after summer, autumn times. I'm seeing another drop. I'm seeing it on foot. I'm saying, I can't lie, I still might not buy the shoe, but Eman, I'm gonna let you land.
Yeah.
At this point, Bolu was like, no, we're not letting Eman land. This shoe still stinks. So now we fast forward to today. Yeah, we're in February now. The shoe's drop is imminent, and Bolu is saying he entered the referral for product testing.
What kind of
what product are you testing?
Let me land.
What are you testing?
Okay, I need to hear now. I understand the context. Let me hear.
So
no.
We have brought the case to court.
I'm on the stand.
I'm hearing. We rise you to stand.
I'm on the stand.
Yeah, provide your defense, Bolu. What you got?
Yeah.
I saw a video.
Okay.
Yes.
From Soul Supplier.
Okay.
Yeah. Obviously, they're product testing it right now. I saw my man swipe his thumb across the toe box. Mm-hmm. I saw the glisten. I said, Wow. And of course, and also, bearing in mind, wait a minute.
Where's the Rick Ross meme?
No, wait, bearing in mind,
Accusations.
On our last review, we didn't know that the 4s from like this year onwards would be with the SB4 technology in terms of level of comfort.
Okay.
See,
so I'm still trying to work out where you're going with this.
So I didn't know that the comfort level was going to be stepped up, and I didn't understand. I didn't know that they actually stepped up the quality of the leather.
Okay.
Until I saw. So now I want to see it in person.
Okay.
So basically,
is your argument purely that you spoke before gathering your context and information?
Paralegality.
You made statements about something you had no prior knowledge and understanding of, and now when you've now gathered further insight into what you were actually making statements about, you're retracting your initial statements.
So
is that what? Have I got that correct?
Halfway right. In the sense where I did my due diligence.
You did, okay.
To the back end of last year.
Okay.
However, come January, new information was brought to my attention.
Let me land because you're avoiding something.
No. New information was brought in terms of something that I focus on, which is comfort, and
he's already using it.
Cancelled.
And a level of quality.
So seeing as your valued, you value the comfort and the quality, should your statement not have been, upon first look, this is something I'm not going for. However, if I do gather insight into the comfort and this, whatever else, I may go for this shoe. Should that have not been your initial statement?
And now that you've been possessed with this new information, does that not mean that you're actually on side with the shoe now?
Yes.
I plead the fifth.
This is the UK.
No comment.
About the fifth.
I love that.
I beg.
I plead the fifth down.
Jade,
Anyway.
God forbid, but if I ever go to prison,
Hey.
No, do you know what? That was the biggest pickup line that you received.
It must have been in uni, innit?
Oh, if I...
What? It's gonna help the man in bus keys.
Babes, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I ever go jail, you know, you're gonna be my lawyer. No, because you are not. Me and you are not the same.
Eman, what you got on for today? No, back in the zone.
Oh, rah. Yeah. I've got, I guess, another person that was in court in cases.
Oh
We
God.
have
Accusations.
Kanye West. Kanye West. We've got the Yeezy 700 V3 Azales.
When are you gonna throw this shoe away?
You're in this shoe, bro.
Anyways, great shoe.
The work we all did for you to get this shoe.
No, I need to stop referring to that. That's even old news. I just don't like the shoe. Every time I see it, I'm just like, brother. What's that, brother?
We're not doing that. I can't even include that. Like, I can't.
Why not? No.
I can't put a meme in.
No.
This is fine.
This is fine. Do your brother.
Do your research.
What's that, brother?
What's that, brother?
Oh my gosh.
I love that sound.
Honestly,
so much.
what's a meme? What's a meme?
Michael, chat to us.
I am wearing the Saucony Pro Grid Omni 9s.
Gee.
Nice.
Elite shoe. I love it. Mad comfy.
Solid.
I need to invest in more colorways because I can't lie, I could wear this shoe every day.
Wow.
It just makes a lot of sense.
We love an everyday shoe.
Yeah, it's just like a nice, not too stressful, looks clean, and the colorways just give it a cool little vibe, And this is just a GR.
Yeah.
It's not even a collab.
I hear it.
So hey, that's
Don't
the
sleep on
world.
GRs.
Hey man, don't sleep on them.
Talking about another shoe that you can wear every day. We have something very particular on the table.
Oh, okay, yes.
Ah,
Jade, do take us through.
So this is my sneaker. It was an Air Max 95. I designed this in 2020 and it was called Ink. I released this in a time where the world was, we were going through it. Like it was COVID, it was Black Lives Matter, and it was a project that I got brought on to represent a group of people that was, really unrepresented with Nike, and that was black women, especially in the sneaker scene at that time. Things have changed a lot now. I think things are getting better, but especially in 2020 and before that, there wasn't a lot of black women doing things like this that were collabing with the big brands, that were dropping sneakers, that were designers, that were creatives who were working with the brands. And so this was by the Nike by You workshop. I think you guys, it was like the Nike workshop thing. You probably saw it. And they basically did a call out and was like, we want all the creatives in London to come and share their stories of your London. Like, what is London to you? And I basically just gave a monologue of my application was just a monologue of just who I am, my journey with law, my journey being a black woman in the creative industry, being a black woman in law, which is still really underrepresented as well, and just like what the shoe would mean to me at that time. And it was obviously with a lot of things going on with Black Lives Matter and racial profiling and all that stuff. I just spoke about like my diversity and inclusion, and it was really called Ink because it was to be inclusive, to bring people together, and that was why I named it Ink and like incorporated, which was like companies. So it kind of had that tie-in of like both of my worlds in a sense. Right,
I see it.
And so designing it was virtually designed.
Okay.
We couldn't leave our houses.
Oh yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so we couldn't leave our houses. We met with the Nike team on Zoom.
Mad.
And we just basically, congratulations guys. So we're going to send you all these links to design your shoe. It's going to get produced in wherever, I think it was in the Portland or wherever their factories are. It's going to be produced. You'll get 500 pairs to sell.
Wow.
We'll do a pop-up in the store. and you guys have to market it however you want.
Oh, did they give you a budget for marketing, or was just like, right? This is
well, this is however you want. They meant however, and with whatever resources you have.
You tough, right? Golly.
If I was to hit the high note.
Wow. Woo. So while we were all locked in the house and people were, not doing great in the world, we had to go and produce a whole marketing campaign for a shoe.
Mad.
On our own, out of our own pockets. But, I just use it as an opportunity and as a springboard.
Nice.
And I said, God has a reason why I'm doing this. He knows there's an ordained reason why I had this opportunity, and I just have to do the best with what I've got. Because it was really my first ever big brand, something of this scale, I'd worked with a few brands here and there, but to have Nike be like, we want you on, working with us, as someone who loves sneakers and loves shoes, I was like, oh my God, this is a dream.
Yeah.
And so, with the design process, I was kind of I knew at the time, with Black Lives Matter, there was a lot of black and yellow, and I didn't want to go for yellow, but I definitely wanted black with a lot of the logos and the promo that was out. So I wanted something solidly black, and I think a color black for me just saying the word enough people, I'm black, and it was just something I knew I wanted on there. And then I think I wanted the gradient because I was at the time when I was designing it, all of it was about diversity, inclusion. My whole message with the promotion of it was just talking about black women pushing boundaries, being included in these spaces, and it's not obviously just to be black women should be the only people there, but we should be amongst everyone. So it was kind of this gradient
representation.
Of, that representation of different people. And at the time, I'm into colour a bit more now, but I'm still really neutral. And I wanted something also wearable and neutral that people could be okay, I can put this on and it's not it doesn't feel like a shoe that I'm having to overthink about. It's
just
not
about
green.
It's
not green or blue or something that you have to be oh, let me just get a fit. My mum wears this shoe, my sister wears this shoe, my cousins bought it. Friends who are not into sneakers, and that was a big thing as well. It was friends who are not into sneakers, what are they gonna wear? If they're buying something that represents me, I want them to wear it. I don't want them to buy 150. At the time, I think it was 150, 160 pounds or more. They're spending that on a shoe that I've designed. I want them to feel I can just step out in this and it doesn't have to be overthought. And so that was it. So that was kind of the story of the shoe. And
it's a cool shoe in person, I can't lie.
Was this all during COVID? Well, COVID was
all.
Yeah.
Damn. It was from beginning to end. I didn't meet any of the other people because I think there was 15 of us or maybe more. But we only towards the end of the drop did we all just manage to meet up in a park. And do a link up in a park. We linked up in a park and just all met with our shoes on and was hi.
Yeah. It sounds like a vibe.
Power Rangers.
It was cool. It was really cool. But it was that was how restricted it was. I hadn't seen Az or TT or Ludo. I hadn't seen any of them until it was nearly done and we were just promoting it in stores, and you had to wear masks to go and see my shoe. I had to have pictures with my face mask on next to my shoe in the store.
That's crazy.
You didn't have it was at a time where things were just so unknown, and to be doing it was almost a good distraction. I think it was a good distraction for me to be doing something at a time where we didn't know what was going on. We didn't know what was going on.
With that being said, all the materials that they gave to you, because obviously they gave you a difference in materials to choose from. I'm not saying that you would, but how difficult was it to know what you were going to use?
You didn't know.
Okay.
It was just how sometimes you design it on the Nike by you. We didn't get samples, and that was something we thought we were going to get, was to be able to get little, the little cut out swatches.
Yeah.
We didn't get any of that. Damn. So it was you just got a color, and they kind of told you what it was, and then you just had to pick it and do it. And in hindsight, I would have definitely picked different materials because my materials are not as good as I wanted them to be, but I wanted the colours. But doing it if you did it in person, you would have obviously been able to see like
a little bit and just
you would have just like been able to have that finesse of be like, oh, I can feel this. I know this is going to work well on this. I know the sole's going to look like this. I know. So it was really like I think for me that was the biggest difficulty, was designing something with no kind of understanding or context of what I could feel or what I could see, or if is this a certain type of material. And I think that for all of us we struggled, like all of us, because I think some of the other cities they did it in, so they'd done Paris before us and like New York, I think, or another city,
and they got to do it in person,
and they got to do it in person, I think.
Damn.
And so they did like parties for their drops.
Of course,
they did like
must be nice
parties. So I would have thrown a party, like that would have been. I would have thrown like a proper like sneaker kind of like creatives party to drop it.
Halo Angel, yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's a Nike Angels.
What? Host Empire. Yeah.
Empire.
Put that shit on Eventbrite.
Can you imagine? Literally catering the night.
That would 100% been it.
Hey, I can't lie, you would have won.
You would have got my vote.
You got my vote.
That could have been like, I don't know what's going on.
Hey.
Yeah, so that was I think at the time that was the kind of where we were, and it represents so much for me. Till this day I look at it and I'm like, I can't believe I did that. You know, it's something that it will never go away from me, and people still bring it up to this day, and people recognize me and they're like, oh, I saw you on, this thing, or did you design it? And it's like, yeah, oh my God, like sometimes I forget, I'm like, yeah, I did. But such an amazing group of people. So many good creatives came out of it. So many, like Az doing bits with Nike now. TT's done loads of pop-ups and stuff, like so many good things from so many of the creatives that, worked on the projects. They're doing such good things now as well. So, and we all have a little bond, we all have a little bond that's like, oh, we did this in a time that the world was just so unknown, and we achieved it, and that was great. So, yeah.
Hey, shout out to you.
For real, honestly. It's amazing to see, like, especially like seeing the product in person, because it's my first time actually seeing it in real life. And like, you could still look like you.
I like the.
It's been worn. I'll give you preference. I wear my shoes. We wear our shoes in our house.
I was looking at the contrast in the sole between like the cream on the sole, off-white, in contrast to like the ivory on the side, and then like even like the paneling. It reminds me of like a makeup palette a little bit. Yeah,
so it was kind of that like that neutral, like all it was like, I guess a more girly shoe, but guys wore it as well, and like it, and people really liked it. Like when it dropped, like I got really good feedback from people in the community and stuff, and that was really nice as well, just to have people support it and cop it. Moving more onto your content creation type of side of things, side of things. When did you start doing it, and I guess why? So I started over like 5 years ago now. I started doing makeup in Cov. So in Cov I used to do girls' makeups for like their birthdays and like that kind of stuff.
Birthday makeup.
Yeah, I used to do the glitter.
Don't do that.
Jade!
The glitter lids.
Irreversible damage to our community.
How many victims did you get?
No, you got please. I was, but at the time that was what people wanted.
No, it was a trend.
No, that's the thing. Yeah,
as the answer said, it was in vogue.
Yeah, and I did people's for graduation. I did someone's makeup as well.
Nice.
So I kind of started just posting like myself in makeup and then other people, but always in uni I dressed a bit differently. By my third year, I was definitely dressing like, in my own style. My first year, I kind of just went to what conformed to what everyone else was wearing, because you want to fit in. Yeah. And then I started to dress it.
Yeah.
Do you remember the football t-shirts era? Hey. All the girls wore that pink football tees. Was it Juventus tee? Yeah. And we always have our names on the back.
Man United Chevrolet.
Nike trackies.
Yeah.
Oh, man, actually. Oh, wow.
Do you remember that? Like there was Rich, the top skinny ripped jeans with the girls used to wear.
Oh my days, yo. And the biker jeans.
Yeah, the biker jeans, the jackets.
Remember the neon era?
Oh my gosh, slime season. Oh my days, bro.
With the Zanottis. Do you remember the Zanottis?
Oh my days.
Were you part of slime season?
No.
Are you sure?
Slime season. No, I wouldn't take it that far. I was not. Boys were wearing those Giuseppe Zanottis. You lot were wearing those high tops.
Don't say you lot.
That
was the era we were in.
I was in your shoes.
So I think for me, I wasn't focusing on style at the beginning of uni. I was like, let me do makeup because I love to do makeup and I was good at it. And then I think it got to like graduation and I got a job I was posting more outfits here and there, but office shoes was my first ever job. Ever. I think I got paid £200 or was it gifted? I don't know I got gifted first by them, and then I got paid like £200 to do a shoot it was about being paralegal but being into like fashion and sneakers. And it was like till this day, office are like some of the team are some of my best friends. Like I love the whole office team. They've supported me throughout my whole content creator journey. And so that was my first ever job, and I think that was like 4 or 5 years ago now. And so I've been just slowly grinding, and that's why I'm always like, slow growth isn't no growth. Like
Facts.
I've built community, I've built good connections, I've built great friends, I've worked with amazing brands, and I've just slowly grown from there, and that's how I got into it. Really, I kind of fell into it. Just thought, okay, I'm posting makeup, maybe let me post a fit, and then I started posting a fit, and someone else liked the fit, and then I just post another fit, and then from there it kind of snowballed, and then I got a brand job, and then I kind of realized, this is what it is.
Do you feel like it's hard to be a content creator in this day and age?
Yeah.
In terms of how?
And not to be like, try being an influencer for one day. Like it's not in that kind of like really obnoxious way. But I think the hardest part about being an influencer is probably the growing. To become an influencer is the hardest part. The graft part, the creating constantly, not using everything as content, but constantly having to be aware of what can be content.
Yeah.
I think that's difficult. And especially like when you're growing, you can't quit your full-time job and just be an influencer. You have to have another job. So you're working your weekends to run and put a fit on, or, I think that side of it, I think the hardest part of being an influencer or content creator now is working it with your full-time job and trying to make it work and be consistent whilst working a full-time job, which I'm sure you guys, you're doing this, you have to edit after, all these types of things you have to.
How do you do it? Because I always wonder, like, obviously, you being a paralegal, you're obviously quite good at your job. But then I'm seeing you consistently coming out with fits. So where does that? How does that come about? Is it like a multiple fits in a day situation?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
For me, I do my 9 to 5, and law can be longer than 9 to 5. We can work quite long hours, and every Saturday for the last probably like 2.5 years, except for after COVID. So yeah, like 2.5 years now. Every Saturday or Sunday morning, I've gone to central London or London and drove my car, changed in my car into like 5 or 6 different outfits and shot. In the beginning, I was using a tripod by myself. I would just shoot in central, and then I started getting worried.
That would give me anxiety.
That was where I had to stop doing that, because it was when COVID first ended, it was really safe to kind of do it because not a lot was going on. Like everyone was just kind of easing back in. Then when London started to get like touristy again and really busy, I was like, no, I need someone to help me. So I've made friends now who do content creation as well, who we shoot together. So every week I've not missed I've maybe, unless I travel, which I shoot on holiday. I haven't missed a week.
This is very off topic, but a bit. But how have you guys seen the new Apple Vision Pros?
Yes.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about that?
It's interesting.
I don't really get it. I don't get how it's meant to integrate into our lives.
So basically, it's like you put it on, basically, and then you'll see the real life going on around you. You can see it through the screen, but you can have screens. So see how, like, for example, we're seeing the lights over here, right?
Okay.
Sorry. iCarly, is it eyeglasses or?
Yes, sort of. It's a similar concept.
Okay.
But like, because your eyes are fully submerged into this thing, you can still see through the glass and you can see what's going on around you. So you're not going to walk into somebody unless you're completely engrossed in what you're doing.
So is it interacting with what you see?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so, like, for example, if you're on a train or it assumes you're driving and you're wearing it, what it will do is that it will slide across and off your screen into the distance. So it's like, don't be distracted now, you're meant to be looking straight ahead.
Or it'll have like the maps in like your peripheral vision, I'm guessing, or something like that.
It'll create like, it's basically augmented reality.
So it creates a world in addition to the real world. Yeah.
So there's lots of practical applications. I saw someone learning how to play the keys with the glasses on.
So they were just doing...
it would light up what keys you need to be playing.
And you don't need a physical piano.
Exactly. No, you have a physical piano. Yeah, but it would light up. So
you'd have to write on the piano keys, for example.
Exactly. So the letters will be on the keys. It will light up where you should play at this current point in time, and it teaches you how to play it like that. I saw someone getting a trim with the glasses on.
That's hilarious.
I found that really weird, but
there's certain things I can't do with glasses on.
Yeah.
You see, if the clippers just cut the thing.
Yeah.
The barber was wearing it.
Oh, the barber was wearing it.
So what was he doing on it?
I don't know. I saw it. I said, this is too much.
Was he? Did he have
demographic?
I thought that the person getting the trim was wearing it. I was like, that's dumb.
What I can say is, are we just all going to become accustomed to people walking around with them on?
Apparently.
Because for me, it still just looks like, what are you wearing?
Yeah.
Like, it's not stylish. I don't want to carry that in my bag.
You know what though? Initially when the AirPods came out, because I saw somebody tweet about this. They were like, when the AirPods first came out, people were wearing them. Everyone called them weird.
Did we?
It wasn't stylish.
Did we?
You was wearing
didn't we always have
tampons in your ears?
We had wires, but
earbuds were a lot smaller.
And the AirPods were a bit like
came down
a bit
to like
chunkier.
here, yeah.
And they were mad long. It was like, what's going on? You wearing earrings? What's the move?
And then it took culture to kind of make it cool, and that's when everyone started to grab it.
Yeah.
So I do feel like this is a bit of a step too far in like the prototype space as opposed to it being like fashionable. But give it X amount of years, like it's gonna take over. Same with like touchscreen phones. Like
the only thing that will stop it from reaching that mass consumption is the price point.
Yeah, they'll cut the price point.
But the price point, but it's like,
how much is it?
If I want a little handbag, and I'm just meant to let me put my goggles in.
No, but you won't put your goggles in. You'll put it on.
But then I'll just live life with my goggles on.
Like his glasses.
There was a guy.
But they're so big. I just can't get rid of the thought of that. This is so big.
Think about the evolution of a phone. You had the big thing where you had the ring. Now you're here looking like you can pick up. You can call me right now. You be all the way in Tanzania or somewhere.
Tanzania.
I'm here.
Oh my
gosh,
your
face.
It's true.
And everything.
It's true.
Probably give it a couple
4K.
years. They'll probably
4K.
slim it down and everything to where it looks like glasses or where it looks something like that.
Because look at the Google Glass. At first, Google Glass was huge, and now they've condensed it into actual glasses.
Yeah,
so good.
People edit with
that type of thing. I would be like, I could wear a glasses frame.
Yeah.
I think the Meta have the Meta ones.
Yes,
haven't they?
I think they do.
They've got some with Ray-Ban. They're like in collaboration with Ray-Ban or something. I've seen people on Insta have been getting them.
People were doing were editing like on Premiere Pro in their glasses. I'm like, whoa, wait, hold on. You're moving the files from one line to another. Everything's just making it. I'm like,
it's got a lot of potential.
One thing,
but it's too much potential.
One thing I've noticed
too much is
that sometimes on YouTube you randomly get like big YouTubers like on your page just randomly. I have a very strong feeling, if not, it's probably true, that Nike have given certain influencers or big YouTubers, and they've probably gifted it to them in terms of
Nike or Apple.
So I say Nike.
Yeah.
Apple.
Yeah, Apple, yeah.
I was wondering where you were going.
Go on.
I was wondering where you were going with Nike though. But I was like,
no, Apple have basically seeded it into different communities.
You have to.
Yeah.
They do that all the time.
Because I got seeded the iPhone.
What, 15?
15, yeah.
Well done. Wow.
Some people are living a different life to us.
In this life.
They seed.
Yeah.
Sorry, Marcus Brownlee.
Marquise.
I didn't know.
Yeah, I put it on my Insta. Like, yeah, we went and did like a whole session in the HQ and like everything. So they are seeding, and I think they're seeding now because I can't speak for them, but you know, I haven't heard anything, but just speculation. Because a lot of us,
they will.
They will.
Word infringement.
This is my personal opinion. I don't speak for Apple.
You shared.
Allegedly.
I'm so loyal. Like, just to preface, it's just my opinion. But I think because we're of a generation, number one, the cost of living. Number two, these phones are so similar.
Yeah.
You're coming out with a 15, 16 every year. We don't need my 13 works just as fine as my 12, and the 15 I have now is great. I love it. It's got great camera features, but love you, Apple, and please, I would like to work with you again, but it doesn't do much. It doesn't do much different to what my 12 does or my 13 does. So I think now they're realizing, okay, content creators are the new celebrities or whatever. Seeding it to these different communities might get their communities being like, oh, I see this person uses their iPhone 15, and a lot of it is now for content. They're just seeding creatives because most of us are now using our iPhones to create content.
You know what it is, yeah. So it's what you were saying about I think you were saying it off camera about the fact that you feel like you owe it to your followers to give them correct information.
Yeah.
So where you have, for example, guys like Marquise Brownlee, he's a voice of not only like reason and purpose in the community, but he also knows his stuff. So you give it somebody like that, they're going to give you the most authentic review.
Yeah.
Even if it doesn't work and it's not positive, they know they're going to get from Marquise the most the most wholesome advice in a sense.
Sorry, I was not to stay in this like tangent, but I always find it funny how whenever he does Apple videos, he's always
so
recording
funny, bro,
with like his Google Pixel or something.
He's so funny, bro. Like you know when you reach a certain point where you're just like, I know my stuff and you know I know my stuff, so you're gonna give it to me anyway.
It's not even that. It's the whole like, I want to say Tinker and like other people. You are such a valuable asset to us that we don't care what the hell you do. Because of that big, because it can be anybody else. You're recording. It's like me doing. They've gifted me the breads, but me wearing Yeezys throughout the whole video, and I'm flipping Tink Hatfield. They won't give a damn.
Because even just the idea that you are sitting there in a shoe, even if you're in another shoe and holding the shoe, that's the value. They've already got the value of you just being pictured or people viewing you with something in your hand. They've already got the value.
Automatically increases. Like, oh my gosh, actually, you know what? I didn't think about having Vision Pros before, but now that Marquise has got it on, it's like,
and another thing,
maybe that'll work.
They put things in a demographic to appeal to a demographic.
But it wasn't only Marquise.
Hear me out.
Go on.
You live in a community with only black people, They know you're only gonna hear it from a black person.
Fairs.
I don't know why, but I feel like if you hear a black person tell you, "Hey, listen, blah 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 blah,"
yeah, because you're community, like, it's your you can relate.
You'll pass that information like it's Bible.
Yeah. And I think the bigger, as you said, like the bigger brands, like the Apples, I think the agencies they're using kind of get it more because they're using these bigger agencies who understand, have probably done a lot of internal market research.
For sure.
But that's why as we can probably lead this into like diversity in the content creation space as well. When it trickles down to these smaller brands, they're not realizing like our pockets, our spend power is very valuable. It's high. And if we hear it from someone in our community, usually
the money's there.
So these big Apples, they've done enough market research. They've got internal people. Their sole job is to probably just go to these communities and talk to them and say, will you rather buy off a black person or what?
You know what, actually,
to do that.
Speaking of that, you remember when, before we get into diversity, remember when AirPod Pros first launched?
Is that the actual headphone one?
Yes.
Yeah, the big ones.
I always get confused with them.
And I was like, wait, I'm seeing this everywhere.
Yeah.
Where did they just spawn from?
Yeah.
And it's like, Apple won't physically say, yes, we gifted so-and-so, or they don't even expect to thank you. Just wear it, bro.
Yeah.
Put it into your normal life. All of a sudden now, you see it once, you see it twice. I kind of need that 3 times, 4 times. Okay. How much is it?
Time to commit.
Maybe I'm going to buy it. Maybe I'll make a payment plan. You know?
It's that
internal,
that's it. It's that they almost they'll seed it because organically they just want you to integrate it. And the likelihood, for me, I've got a 15. I'm using it. I'm using it. I'm like, I could use my old phone, but for content creation, I'm using my 15.
Sense. Might as well.
So if anyone asks, oh, what film do you use to edit, or what phone do you use to film? What are you using your back camera? I use the 15. That's what I tell people now because that's what I'm using. Yeah. If anyone asked how I film, I'd say it. So that organic, natural, they seeded that. That's nothing for them. But for their value back, I could have got 3 people to buy a phone. They've made their money and they've made the phone and more.
Literally.
So for context, we are recording on a 14+ Plus?
At that point, if you would like to see,
Wait. We record on the 14 Plus. We post our content on a 14 Pro Max, and we also create our scripts and our information on a M1 chip, M2 chip, and a 13.
Mine's not there.
yes.
And
I would like an M2.
When we're to check the time.
Are marketing the products, like just sitting here and being on it. You're doing exactly what
they want.
Let me just check the time, Apple, with my Series 9 that tells me my beats per minute from how long ago and all that good stuff. And
they are integrated into our lives. And that's all they want with these seedings. It's just for people to integrate it in their life.
Literally.
Do their daily routine. Wear it. Wear an AirPod. Go on your phone on a video.
Yeah.
That's all they need. They've sold it to you. So.